The imperative necessity for the absolute quality of this presentation continued to gnaw away at Tekram as he did his best to shrug away anxiety. The Pharaoh did not personally oversee the order, so his visits were often met with a great aim to please. After all, they were more or less the sons of Akhenaten's great vision. Tekram allowed his uneasiness to fade, and now, just over an hour later, the order had a working model of information. Tekram remained crouched, looking closely at a map containing a scale of energetic frequencies sprawled across the floor. Tek peered quietly over his shoulders, pondering the same questions as Ve'ara. There was a quick rap at the door, and all eyes darted towards the entryway. Shaz, Ritu, and Lirj, surrounding a table by the far wall, looked up towards the entrance. Nida occupied the center of the room and looked at Tekram, who nodded. She moved quickly to unlatch the door and stepped aside. It swung open, revealing a silhouette of 7 feet, a magicist whose breathing ignited a new alertness within the order of Ajahati. The Commandant walked in. A Bikutek accompanied, standing several paces behind. Tenhut eyed the order, loyal servants dedicated to the Pharaoh in the pursuit of Black Sun energy. He breathed a few moments, surveying the room. It was made entirely of black marble and was fairly small considering the nature of Egyptian architecture. It stretched 60 feet from either end and was nearly half as wide. Tenhut looked above the marble slab, the stand which sprawled from the material of the floor.
I sense the power that once lay here.
He lowered his gaze on Tekram and turned to face Shaz, Ritu, and Lirj, who made their way closer toward him.
Well done, Ajahati. Well done.
He walked around the slab, grasping tightly his staff. A Bikutek remained in place, observing the meeting in silence.
Where is Akhenaten?
Tekram asked hesitantly, looking at the others. He held his hand over his chest, a casual display of concern.
The Pharaoh is tending to another interest. This matter, of course, is of relevant importance.
Tenhut grumbled.
You wait here,
Lirj hissed. Tenhut glanced at the Naga who slithered before him.
In time,
Tenhut replied.
Before the sorcerer travels to Egyptia, I sense we will have already unraveled the secrets of the next dimension.
Lirj peered at Shaz, whose neon blue eyes flashed brightly in the dark room.
You are abandoning your search for the lost?
The Jinn inquired.
We are not. The hunter is scouting his location as we speak. It will not be long before he is found.
The next few moments marked the signature and tempo of the Commandant's breathing. There was a knock at the door, and Akhenaten walked through, followed by the elegant. Each being in the room bowed respectively. If the Order is successful at maintaining stability of the Nexus window before Jayab's arrival, all the better, Akhenaten said.
Welcome, my Pharaoh. We are pleased to be in your presence.
What is the status of our progress? The Naga slid towards the Pharaoh. As he neared, he arched his serpentine head high in the air, laying his venomous eyes upon the Golden King.
The dynasty will be most pleased with our progress.
The Golden King nodded and looked at the Jinn.
We have unraveled the mystery of the veil. It is as Tenhut's prediction. Several intricate layers of energetic barriers conceal the astral plane from the physical. If we are to access non-material consciousness from this physical world, we must penetrate through these folds. We have yet to breach the remaining field, but as such is achieved, we will have taken our first glimpse into the timeless fifth dimension.
Tell us the results of your trial.
Of Commandant. Thus far, we have managed to influence molecular compounds that would otherwise act separate to form together. The power of their joining creates a measurable exertion of magic that penetrates through these layers, creating a field that is just shy of opening a rift into the Black Sun dimension.
What prevents the Nexus from stabilizing? Artnakin said. There is a required amount of energy to surpass.
Correct. In order for the Nexus window to become a permanent fixture in this realm, we need to surpass the initial point of energy contained within this final layer of the veil. We are measuring our output of magic via our system of EPPM, energetic power per microunit.
Shaz paused.
The Pharaoh is familiar with this system.
Tenhut instructed.
Go on.
Humor me, Artnakin said.
As you know, EPPM was designed to monitor and divide the smallest fractal unit of magic within any given field. The resource, or sorcerer, observes and redirects the atomic function of the atom, charging it with an intent of operation.
Security. Once this portal is stable.
The Blackguard will retain sole discretion on matters of privacy and security. Tenhut has personally developed an energetic network that will repel any non-physical entity that may try to pass through to our world.
Good, Artnakin said. What happens next?
When the requirements for sustaining a portal of this magnitude have been met, the portal will become a permanent icon, locked into this physical plane.
Artnakin nodded, satisfied.
When the Nexus window is fully operational, additional Blackguard equations will be implemented to maintain a permanent state of high security.
That may or may not be necessary, Artnakin said, pending the outcome. What happens to the residual magic used in these trial runs?
The magic returns to a primordial state and is added to the well.
Shaz replied. How long before the portal's opened? Abikutek asked.
Impossible to say. By season's end.
That will suffice, Artnakin said, caressing the back of his head. Tenhut looked at the Golden King.
We will locate the lost, my Pharaoh. If the portal has not been opened by the time of his coming, it will be shortly thereafter.
Thank you for your optimism, Commandant. I share your outlook. The Pharaoh raised his head and allowed his arm to fall to his side. Gentlemen, Artnakin looked at Nita. Lady, thank you for your work. Your achievements thus far have proved beyond exemplary. I look forward to future advancements. I expect to be updated as progress is made. Hail the Black Sun. With his final words spoken, the Pharaoh turned and made out of the Guru, Jazz following close behind. The words of the others praising Black Sun died as the Golden disappeared. Tenhut took a step towards the Order.
We will unlock the power of the First, and fate will befall any who interfere. Hail Artnakin.
Hail Artnakin.
The others repeated as the Commandant marched away. Learch hissed his praise as he watched the glowing embers of magic that emanated from his leaders rise up and dissipate into the blackness of the room.